Welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Sapphire, and in case you're curious, no, you don't get immediately kicked right back out to the entrance of the Cave of Origin. You have to go all the way through the Cave of Origin and get the hell out of there. I don't know why they make you do that. I know they're probably thinking, use the escape rope. Probably should have thought about that. Wanted to save it just in case there was something far worse. Far worse. Oh well. I probably should have thought about cutting this running bit out and... Oh look, Steven's in front of the gym. But first let's heal up. For whatever reason I was speeding this up, but... Oh well. May, we owe it all to you. The sky above Sootopolis has returned to normal. For that, Wallace sends his thanks too. And that same Wallace is waiting for you inside. He's strong, but the way you are now, you should be on equal footing with him. Give it your best shot. And let's follow his advice. Oh, and in case you're curious, I added Kyogre to my team. For now. And I'm gonna do a lot of... I'm gonna do a lot of farming. Like, I'm gonna do a lot of leveling up my Pokemon. And here's one thing I hated as a kid. These ice puzzles. The rocks are to signify, like, if you have to step on these tiles once, right? And the rocks are actually to signify the trainers in the later areas. I'm gonna cut out every time I fail. Like, I'll show you once what it's like down there, but when I run into a trainer, I'm gonna cut to my failure takes. If you've run through that, you already failed. And that's what down there looks like, so... God! I actually had to look it up on the internet. I couldn't figure it out on my own. And I could never figure it out on my own as a kid, either. It took me a goddamn eternity to figure out what the hell to do in this puzzle as a kid. I had no idea it was even possible. Ugh. Even through as extensive research as I thought possible, it took me so many tries. I kept going left because that was pretty much the gist of the previous two. But I seriously hate that. Ugh. It wasn't until I looked it up on the internet that I finally found out how the fuck to make it across. How is a kid of my age to figure that out? Oh well. Here's Wallace's statistics and all that. Now that I've given you plenty of time to check that, statistic, I'm just gonna start the waterfall for a few seconds, and we are going to be formally introduced to Wallace, the gym leader of Sootopolis. Ah, boy, I also hated fighting this guy. Ugh. Primarily because of his last Pokemon. And you'll see why. This is like the only time I ever had to speed up a gym battle because of his last Pokemon. He has a fucking love disc?! Okay, hand me your trainer license. You have no right to be a trainer. Actually, this one gave me a bit of trouble. Odd, because it's love disc. God, love disc is so friggin' horrible. The only reason you should ever have a love disc is to, well, have heart scales, because love discs will have heart scales, but even, but unless it's for completing the Pokedex, if you have to move Thief, there's no reason to have a fucking love disc. I know I have Pokemon that are actually weak to water types, and as such, I have such stupidity. Ugh. I still like my Sandslash for not only getting over confusion, but for also getting over immobilization from love. But that doesn't mean it can handle another water pulse, so I just use my electric type. Apparently having just an electric type and barely bothering to get a grass type bites me in the ass later. And you'll see why. It's for a Pokemon that has the exact same typing as my favorite starter, Whiscash. I believe it is the only other Pokemon in the 3rd generation to have the water-ground typing, not the water-rock typing, because I mistakenly said that it was a unique typing when it was present since the 1st generation's fossil Pokemon. Ugh. I also kind of hate Earthquake when the opponent has it because, I still realize Linoone is a pretty decent addition to my team. To think, a Pokemon that you would typically have early on in the game and would pretty much abandon later on, ends up becoming a Pokemon that is one of my better teammates. Primarily because it has strength. It doesn't necessarily have the best stats in the world, but it's something. Ah well, Kyogre, just like the battle, has Drizzle, which will make it rain permanently. It becomes a double-edged sword for me because its water-type attacks are now increased, but it becomes effective for me because now Hydro Pump is now more effective. Stupid old me didn't even use Hydro Pump the whole battle. Primarily because, I don't know, I was fighting water types. Yeah, well. For whatever reason, I probably should have brought out Swampert to display Earthquake on my end. Maybe I did before, I don't remember. But, yeah. I don't know. Actually, I take that back, because I remember that Ice type is actually super effective against ground, and that it was weak to rock. But it was a good idea for me to have used Electric. Seriously, I just barely win these battles. I mean, it's no like, go Slavinator, poison defeats them. No, it's not like that. But it is a close battle. But you'll see what I mean. Megatron ends up getting the most experience points, and now he's on level with Kyogre. In fact, if I continued to raise him a bit, he probably would have been on level with Kyogre by the time I reached Kyogre. Ah, well. Oh, Water Pulse. How I hate thee. No matter how powerful Shockwave is, that Water Pulse, ugh. Negatron, from what I've seen, despite its Steel typing, doesn't have that good of defense. Your Pokemon was in the yellow! Okay, to be fair, it was like 1 HP away from being in the red. Well, it looked like it, but still! And yeah, that rain, as I mentioned before, ends up being a double-edged sword for me because of that stupid Water Pulse. I ended up making the Water Pulse stronger by sending it out. Oh, and here's Tri-Attack. Tri-Attack is only a normal I couldn't believe what I just saw there. Oh, God. I was predicting that he would heal his Pokemon in the same way that I would. But although not in the exact same way, he used the healing potion that would make it full health. I felt like I should have just done a speed up of this one, but I didn't. And I knew it was for the better of me. But at least I made him use up both of his Hyper Potions. Not like it matters for Slash Pokemon, but you'll be seeing that. Oh, God. I hate that last Pokemon. Because it's good! And it's difficult to actually get, because its pre-evolved form is just has such a convoluted way of doing it. There's a Pokemon that appears in specific tiles called Feebas. Max out its beauty, and then level it up. You get this thing, Milotic. The reason why I hate this thing is Recover. Recover is annoying. And you'll see what I mean. He may not have any more Hyper Potions, but that Recover is essentially an infinite Hyper Potion. Okay, maybe not a hyper potion, kind of more or less a super potion, I guess. Not like I had much of a choice when it came to this, but... I'm quite surprised. Lateron went down in one hit of Water Pulse. To be fair, it was a critical, but... whatever. My only two Pokemon are water types. Not fun. So, in an attempt to use... yeah, that's the thing. That's another problem with the water ground typing. You actually take normal damage from water types instead of resisting it. It's not a quad resist. That just makes it even worse for my Swampert to get hit by it. Ugh. Yes. I think you've already seen it plenty of times during this battle, but I hate the confusion effect. And it typically happens with the opponent like every 2 times it uses it. And Milotic just takes so friggin' long to do. So fucking long to get. But it was more annoying when I had the game because I caught so many Feebasses. I got so many Pokeblocks of Oran Berries to raise the Feebas's beauty to the maximum. And no matter what I did, it always never got to maximum beauty before it ran out of ability to eat more Pokeblocks, as in its Sheen got maxed out. Oh, and you're going to see it right here. I use an Ice Beam. It looks like it's about to be low on... it looks like it's decently low on health. And it uses Water Pulse. Okay. Not bad. But this is what you gotta see. Body Slam. Attack. Low on health. Practically dead. Uses Recover. Half of its health returns. That was a ball kicker. Ugh. And then I use Body Slam again. Low on health. Recover again. You have got to be shitting me. It's because this battle eventually went down to I attack you, I use Recover. I attack you, I use Recover. Even the paralysis doesn't stop it. Ugh. I decided to speed it up. This was the only time I ever did a speed up of a gym battle. Because it kept using Recover. Why? Ugh, I know Recover's a decent move and all, but I don't think I would want to waste a turn if I'm just gonna get half my health lost anyways. Ugh. But finally it stopped recovering itself so many fucking times, and I finally defeated Wallace. I have Authenticity, you just kept using Recover. Ugh. I freaking deserve this badge. Albeit I used a legendary, Sue Me, but he was using Recover the whole match. Ugh. Anyways, with the 8th gym badge, you have, if you trade over any Pokemon, no matter what the level, it will always obey you. And we just got the Technical Machine Water Pulse, the move he's been using almost the whole battle. So anyway, this is Transformers Fanco 328. I am done, and I will see you in the next part, where we go to the Elite Four.